everyone, I'm the Spicer and welcome to the Gunpla Network. Today we'll be looking at more huge news in the world of Gundam with a new multimedia endeavor called Gundam Breaker Battlelog. Gundam Breaker Battlelog will cover a series of short animated movies, a few kits, and an expansion to the mobile game Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare. Along with this expansion, the characters from both Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare and Gundam Breaker 3 will be appearing in the short movies. We don't have a ton of information on the story or when the movies will be releasing. However, it appears that they will be releasing on Gundam Info's YouTube channel when they do release this fall. While it's not confirmed, it is really possible that this is going to take place after the events of the mobile game, as the Gundam Helios, which releases in November of 2021 for a price tag of 2,530 Japanese yen, does look like an advancement in the successor to the Gundam Artemis. Speaking of the Gundams, the Helios is one of 11 new kits announced as part of this new adventure. Technically, probably all 10 of the regular high-grade kits are said to be structurally redesigned and include joints that allow for easy part swapping for customization. There are technically 11 kits that are new with this endeavor, and I'll get to that in a second. It's not specified what joints we'll be seeing in which kits, but generally most of the base kits that are already in use for these seem to have pretty modern standard PC joints. I could be wrong on that, like with the 00 Quant probably, but generally speaking they all seem to be pretty okay in terms of the articulation. Regardless though, if any of the older base kits do get some upgrades, it might help lead to some revives in the future. Speaking of possible new releases though, the Gundam Live Lance Heaven, which releases in November of 2021 for a price tag of 2,200 Japanese yen, looks like it's going to use a new high-grade Death Scythe Hell custom body, meaning we'll likely be seeing the base kit in the next few years. The white and golden version of the base kit looks great. The play on the whole Angel of Death, but kind of more the angel motif, is great. The only thing I'm a little worried about is possibly the gold being stickers, but that's really not all that big a deal, honestly. We do also have the Perfect Strike Freedom Gundam releasing in December of 2021 for a price tag of 2,530 Japanese yen, sporting a Perfect Strike aesthetic while using parts from the high-grade Cosmic Era Strike Freedom and the high-grade Cosmic Era Destiny Gundam. This pairing works incredibly well and feels like a natural evolution of the Perfect Strike that we originally saw in Gundam Seed. They do have a little play on the wing backpack portions turning into bits, but generally really cool to integrate both the Strike and the Strike Freedom in this design. The Blazing Gundam, which is releasing in December of 2021 for a price tag of 2,200 Japanese yen, is a take on the Burning Gundam, but with a shining foot instead of a shining finger. Looks like Domon wanted to be a common rider and made up his own rider kick. The Gundam 00 Command Quant is releasing in January of 2022 for a price tag of 2,200 Japanese yen, and changes the sleek look of the Quant for a more full armor look. A full armor Quant with Command Gundam stylings, I mean honestly, what's not to like? Lastly, we have the Gundam Barbatorus releasing in December of 2021 for a price tag of 2,420 Japanese yen. This is the best I could say an Iron-Blooded Orphan's take on a Minotaur, and it literally just entirely literally looks like a beast. Like, it is very aggressive looking, and honestly much closer to the demon naming conventions of IBO than a lot of the Gundams we see from the series. while the other half of the 10-11 newly announced kits are mostly recolors and Pbandai, they're still pretty solid looking. We have the Pbandai Goof Crimson Custom, a char-colored goof that is truly no Zaku, with no release date, but it does have a price tag of 1,980 Japanese yen. We also have the Pbandai Ground Type Gundam Urban Combat Type, which is, as you'd expect, an urban combat colored ground type Gundam in the veins of the Origins Heavy Gundam, and while it doesn't have a release date, it is priced at 1,980 Japanese yen as well. We also have the Pbandai Red Frame Astray Inversion, looking like the predecessor to the No Name Astray, and while it also doesn't have a release date as of yet, the price tag comes in at 1,980 Japanese yen. We also have the Pbandai Wing Gundam Sky Zero, giving the famous Wing Zero a more pastel color scheme, and while this high grade doesn't have a release date either, it does have a price tag of 1,870 Japanese yen. Lastly, and likely the only possible US exclusive kit that would be released, would be the entry grade RX-78-2 American type, where the release date of October 2021 and a price tag of $9.99 USD, that'll be before tax as well. In regards to the movies, we know of a few of the staff members, such as Masami Obari, Hajime Yatata, and Yoshiyuki Tomino himself. Now technically, Hajime Yatata is a pseudonym used for the Sunrise Animation staff as a whole, so generally just it's a bunch of collective members of the Sunrise Animation staff that have helped work on this. But Obari, that is helming these movies as the director, is no stranger to Gundam Productions, having worked on a lot of Build Fighters and Build Divers. So not only is Obari skilled and experienced with this type of Gundam, he's actually worked in this subsect of Gundam with the whole Build Fighters, Build Divers type thing. So definitely has the experience, definitely has the resume for it. Very excited to see what he does. And while it is possible that Tomino could lend his writing talents to this, I think he's just generally more credited for the story of Gundam as a whole instead of this specific one, because a lot of the mechanical designers that are credited are also kind of in the same vein of, Kunio Okawara is credited, but it's just because he designed a lot of the base stuff. So as far as that goes, that's pretty much what we're looking at in terms of the staff that we know of. And generally speaking, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. If nothing else, it'll be on the Gundam Info YouTube channel to watch, and that's still good news. More Gundam is always good Gundam. But if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below, and just generally let us know what you think. Now, of course, all of this is tied into the mobile game, and there's going to be an expansion with that. So if you're still playing the mobile game, put it in the comments below. I fell off of it a while ago, so it would be really interesting to see if any updates or expansions have come out that I'm not aware of. And of course, if you've been enjoying the game, let us know that as well. It's pretty important. But as always, friends, I'm the Spicer. Please stay safe and keep on building.